Alright, so online students, am I audible to you? I think yes. What happened to this man? Alright, so let's start. Let's start with today's current affairs. Okay, are we waiting for someone? No, na? Surely. So there are 5 news that we are going to see. The very first is related to the India's PLI scheme. What is this PLI scheme? What is PLI scheme? Have you heard about this PLI scheme before? Yes. Profit linked incentive. Production linked incentive. Production linked incentive means your incentive that is given by the government is going to be linked by the amount of production that you do. The more production that you do, the more incentive is what you will get. So that is production linked scheme. So this production linked scheme here we are going to talk about with respect to the advanced chemistry cell, but this PLI scheme is like an umbrella scheme, and you have the concept of production linked incentive subsidies for other schemes as well. For example, renewable energy development, production of renewable energy, under that also production link incentive is there. So here also under the advanced chemistry cell you have the production link scheme that is there. So this is what we are going to discuss. Why is this a matter of discussion? Because under this scheme you might have heard about Ola. So Ola, which provides you with transportation, etc., it has also have its own electric vehicles. So Ola is the sole beneficiary of this scheme. That means the scheme has not had much of an impact that it should have had. That is why it's in news. So we will see what this scheme is all about. We will understand what is this advanced chemistry cell battery and how is this different from the previous kinds of batteries that we used to have. Next is the concept of the gift city. So concept of gift city coming from the state of Gujarat. So this gift city, now it is being proposed that this gift city should become a reinsurance hub. What is reinsurance? So we know the concept of insurance, right? You can have health insurance, life insurance, so on and so forth. Now it's the insurance companies that provide insurance to us. Now when you provide, now will that insurance company also need insurance? Yes, they can also need insurance. So providing insurance to the insurer is nothing but reinsurance. So they are talking about having a reinsurance hub in the gift city. Next is the Earth Summit 2025. So this Earth Summit 2025 with respect to Gandhinagar is presently in news. So the Gandhinagar event has taken place. However, remember that out of the 3 Earth Summits that are scheduled in this quick amount of time, in this short period of time, the first had already taken place in Hyderabad. The second one has taken place in Gandhinagar, which we are going to discuss. And the third is going to take place in the coming days in Delhi. So this is the Earth Summit that we will be talking about. Next is the National Mission on Edible Oils. The National Mission on Edible Oils. So we should know that India imports a lot of its oil requirement, right? India is about the 4th largest producer of the oil, but still the demand for oil in India is very high. As a result of which, even after being the 4th largest producer of oil, we still have to import the oil. So the government has this mission of National Mission on Edible Oil. Now this mission will have 2 components. We will see them separately. One is the National Mission on Edible Oil, that is NMEO, oil palm. And the next one is NMEO, oil seeds. So one is for oil palm and one is of the oil seeds. Those two are different. We will see what is the difference between the two. And the last one is the unit. I think this kind of things can be very important for your prelims. The unit. Many times UPSC asks a question with respect to which of the following best describes the concept of the unit. They will say this, and then they will give you 4 options. You have to select the best possible options. So what can this be? There can be questions like this. So what is this unit? This is nothing but a pilot gold backed currency, pilot gold backed digital currency, which is being tested in a pilot project by the BRICS nations, by the BRICS nations. How many countries are there in BRICS? 4, 5, more than 5? 4. What does BRICS represent? B is for Brazil, R is for Russia, I is for India, C is for China, S is for South what? South Sudan. S is for South Africa, but more countries have joined. UAE has also joined. So now there are more than 5 countries. Please keep in touch with your prelims. Please read the magazines also that have been provided. So let's start with the very first news article, that is India's PLI scheme for advanced chemistry cell battery. So as I said, this PLI is nothing but production linked incentive scheme. Production linked incentive scheme means your incentive will be linked to the production. The higher your production, the higher incentive you will get. Now this is in news because Ola, as we all know, provides us with transportation, etc. They have also come up with their electrical vehicles. Now this Ola is currently the sole beneficiary, the only beneficiary under this PLI scheme. So that is not a good thing to have. We were expecting that more people will take the benefits, our production is going to increase. However, as it stands, Ola is the sole beneficiary. That is why this scheme is in news. Okay? So let us now look at the particular scheme itself. So the scheme, of course, it is a national level scheme. So its name itself suggests that National Program on Advanced Chemistry Cell Battery Storage. There are few amount of details about this scheme. It's not that important, but you need to just understand that yes, it had come in few years back. That is more than enough as such. So May 2021, the total outlay is of 18,100 crores. So you should know the tentative amount, exact amount as such. There's no need to know, but yes, around 18,000 crore is what the outlay is. The target capacity, capacity that was being targeted was 50 gigawatt hour. This GWH is basically gigawatt hour. This is the unit of measurement of the power. So this is the capacity they were targeting to manufacture using this particular scheme. Okay. Now let us look at what were the key features of the scheme. Some good things about that scheme. In fact, one is technology agnostic approach. Technology agnostic approach means what? Okay, it is not related only to one particular technology. That means the government is not going to provide you only if you use a particular technology. Nothing like that. You can have any modern technology, any cutting edge technology which you can bring. You do the production based on that also, we will still provide you the incentives. That is what is meant by technology agnostic approach. That means it is not dependent upon a particular technology as such. Next, it's the performance linked incentive. Production, of course, production performance. That means the amount of incentive that you will get will be tied to the actual manufacturing that you are doing. Will be tied to the actual manufacturing. That means it's not the case wherein you are given a fixed amount of subsidy. No, it's not the case. It depends upon the production that you are doing, your performance. There is a focus on scale and efficiency. Fair enough. Let's look at the objective. Of course, what will be the objective? You saw basically what? The Make in India logo. Saw the Make in India logo? Do not know the Make in India. What is this? This is Make in India logo basically. This is the logo of Make in India, and now here on that you have the different battery cells to denote the Make in India in the field of the battery development. So you can clearly understand certain objectives. One objective will be what? Domestic production. Sorry, let's wait just a minute, guys. Yes, so what I was saying is one objective will be what? To produce in India. That in India we should be able to produce the power. Why this is behaving like this? Yes, I think we are good now. Okay? Yes. So one is domestic value addition will take place. The other is our efficiency will also increase. Why efficiency is going to increase? The government is going to help facilitate us, and the people are also going to produce more and more because the incentive is linked to the performance. So you would want to have more, better performance, better production. That will also give you economy of scale. So efficiency will also be created, and we can then compete at a global level. So ensure global competitiveness. Next, strengthen the EV and stationary energy storage ecosystem. So in future, we are having a plan wherein our vehicles, for example, should be electric vehicles. So when you have to have electric vehicles, batteries are required. Not just batteries, the storage of power is also required. So it is going to, of course, help them. And of course, it can lead to attraction of foreign direct investment in the field of storage batteries. Okay? Now let's come on to this question, technical question as to what are these advanced chemistry cells that we are talking about. What does a cell do? What does a cell do? Human body has cells. It stores energy. No, human body has a cell. So that also stores energy. Okay. So basically it's the mitochondria in a human body that is a powerhouse. So for us it's the mitochondria that is our energy storage battery. Okay, it stores battery and we need to do the work in the same manner the vehicle needs to perform the work. So that stored battery will be converted into that kinetic energy, electrical energy that we are talking about. So it is a store of that energy, and this store of energy is used in electric vehicles generally. Okay, this is one thing. Now the question is, why these ACC cells? These ACC cells basically are more efficient than the earlier cells, earlier batteries. So if you would have seen any battery of a car, for example, or even the battery of let's say a two-wheeler, let's say 10, 15, 20 years back also there was completely prevalent. So if you open them, you will find acid, sulfuric acid, different kinds of acid. These were acid-based batteries. Now here we are talking about batteries like the lithium ion batteries, LiON. Lithium ion batteries is what we are talking about. They are more efficient. More efficient means in smaller space they can store more energy. Not just that, the previous batteries that we used to have, it used to die down after some amount of let's say recharging them. This battery will die down at a very later stage. It will not die down after few hundreds of recharge. It will need thousands of recharge to make it to die down. Now why is that the case? That is because those acids and other stuff that were being previously used were unstable. Whereas lithium ion and other things that are being used over here are quite stable. Because they are stable, even when the battery gets discharged, they do not swell up. On the phone also, the batteries used to get swollen up. What is that? It is becoming useless. They do not get swollen up because of the material that is being used in them. Okay, sure. Let's continue. Next, the gift city. The gift city as reinsurance hub. I have told you reinsurance. Insurance is provided by the insurance provider, the insurance company. Now they may also need insurance. So when you provide insurance to the insurer, that is nothing but reinsurance. So there is a proposal to convert this gift city, not convert, but to make this gift city also as a reinsurance hub of the world. Reinsurance hub of the world. Already the government is saying that over 10 international insurers have already set up operation within the gift city. That means 10 international insurance companies already there. So we can leverage that particular thing and convert the gift city into a reinsurance hub. Okay? It's having a lot of problems. Yes. Surely. Next is about the gift city. So here is the full form. As I said, it is in the state of Gujarat. So Gujarat International Finance Tech City. Gujarat International Finance Tech City, that is gift city. Remember this location, located on the banks of the Sabarmati River in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Okay? So these are few important facts for your prelims that are there. Now the legal and institutional framework of this gift city. This gift city is actually established under the Special Economic Zones Act of 2005. What are special economic zones? Yes guys, what are special economic zones?
So they are areas with special tax cuts or special provisions which promote business in the region.
Very good. So there are certain special provisions that are given with respect to the taxation system, with respect to the custom duties, etc., so as to facilitate more and more business to grow in that particular area. That is why the name special coming from special economic zone. It is designated as a non-resident zone under FEMA. Non-resident basically as good as a foreign entity, in the sense that, see, we have, let's say this is India, right? So whenever any imports come into India, we apply a custom duty over there. So you are going to make those goods and services duty free, for example, right? Why will you make them duty free? See, because those are the goods and services which are coming, which will be used by them again to further add value and then to export it. So now in these zones, you will also be given certain custom duty cuts, certain tax cuts, so that it helps you to grow your organization. That is what SEZs are. Majorly the transaction is in foreign currency, but not necessarily only foreign currency. It is majorly that. Okay. Then under that you have the concept of IFSC, International Financial Services Center. So what is that? This centers basically provide you the facilities for transferring of fund, for receiving fund, sending fund, storing fund in different currencies of the world. Okay. So that is what it is, a jurisdiction that provides onshore, offshore financial services. As I mentioned, transaction largely in the foreign currency, but not only foreign currency, largely in the foreign currency. Now the question is, why GIFT City is going to, we are trying to make the GIFT City as a reinsurance city. See, because in the GIFT City, of course, Indian firms, Indian organizations are present. Now the foreign insurers are present that are going to provide insurance cover to us. Right now, if we can provide the insurance cover to them, so what happens is the entire risk is going to be limited within that region only. Now let me explain how. So if there is a person X or a company X, it takes an insurance from a company Y. Now let's say this person or this organization is in India, for example. This organization is in some other country. Now this person takes in turn insurance from another country or another region. So what has happened now? Now 3 countries are involved. Now if something goes wrong in this country, it's going to affect. In this country, it's going to affect. In this country, it's going to affect. So what has happened is, you have not diversified your risk in over here. You have made yourself more vulnerable as such. So anyhow, by creating the special economic zone, you have this industrialist or this industry and this insurance company also within the ambit of India and the Indian taxation and law system. At the same time, you are the one, again, an Indian organization only providing reinsurance for them also. So what will happen is the vulnerability will be reduced, the risks will be reduced, the risk will be remaining within India only. As a result of which, it may reduce the premium outflow also. What is this premium outflow? If they take reinsurance from someone else, they are going to take out their money to some other country to pay for the premium. Right? They have invested, let's say, $1 billion. They are taking insurance. For insurance, they have to pay, let's say, $0.5 million. So they will have to take out $5.5 million outside. But if it's India only which is providing them the reinsurance, it stays in India. That is the concept. Okay. Incentives offered, of course, there will be tax holidays. So 10 year of tax holidays. Tax holidays means you don't have to pay tax. Basically, that's what it is. No requirement of additional capital injection. Yes, no additional capital injection is required, in the sense that if you would have invested $1 billion and you are going to take insurance from Indian firms only, you don't have to add additional money into it. Within that also, if you're trying to manage, that's not a problem. We just want to ensure that this money does not fly back in any other manner or form. It stays back in India. Okay, sure. Let's come on to the next, that is Earth Summit. I have already told you about the Earth Summit. With respect to Earth Summit, as I said, the first one in this year that took place in Hyderabad. This is the second one which has been in news, that took place in Gandhinagar. And as I said, the third one is going to take place very soon in Delhi, which is yet to happen. So this is all about the Earth Summit. Now in Earth Summit, the Union Finance Minister, the Union Home and the Union Home and Cooperation Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, he is the one who had inaugurated the summit in Gandhinagar. These three places are very important. The next will be Delhi. So your prelims based question can be very factual based on the fact as to where the Earth Summits had taken place. Okay? Now, during this Earth Summit, 13 plus digital services were launched. Prominent one among them, or let's say the umbrella term among them, is the Sahakar Sarthi. We'll see what that Sahakar Sarthi is. So under this ambit, they had the Digi Kisan credit card, the Cooperative Governance Index, the world's largest grain storage application was also launched under its ambit. Let's have a bit of overview of this Earth Summit. So basically, what they are trying to do in this Earth Summit is to come up with the policies. Now, these policies are going to be a national level policy. National level policy means going to be applicable or implemented at the national level, that is the pan-India level. Okay. Now, how are you going to do it? You are aiming to going to do it by integrating all the things or the policies or the concepts are there in different states, going to merge it into one, and then you are going to implement it at a pan level. Now, see, understand this, just because a policy is going to be implemented at pan-India level does not necessarily make it a top-to-down approach. It does not necessarily make it a top-to-down approach. Top-to-down approach means policy being created at the top and then implemented at every level. No, not necessarily. You can have a pan-India or a national level policy wherein you collate the data at the district level, you compile it at the state level, whatever modifications are required, it comes up to the central level, and in there, if you want to modify something, you do it. If you want to keep it exactly the same, you keep it like that. And then, so what is this? This is bottoms up approach. And then finally, implement it throughout the nation. So they are going to come up with these policies by integrating the outcomes of the 3 editions of Earth Summit. So first, as I said, was held in Hyderabad. The second, which was recently conducted in Gandhinagar, the next one is scheduled to be taking place in Delhi. Objective is what? To play, as I already mentioned, to form a national level policy framework for rural transformation, for transforming the rural sector or the rural area. Okay. So rural transformation will be done through digitization of credit card, digitization of the storage of food grains through the use of app. Tracking of everything is going to take place through app. So focus on digitization is there over here. You can see this future ready digital innovations is what is going to be planned for the rural areas specifically. Okay? Because that's where the penetration of internet and digitization is quite less. Now the ideological framework is giving a strong emphasis on Gandhian Gram Swaraj. Okay? Gandhian we know that means Gandhiji's philosophy or philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. Gram means basically rural and Swaraj means independence, right? Swaraj basically means independence. So we are talking about Gandhiji's philosophy of rural independence, which he had talked about, right? After the independence, we had different approaches for development. He talked about his own concept of village republic. That means each village is going to act as a republic, as a sovereign, as a self-sufficient entity which will not be dependent on any other entity as such. So that is the concept we are using over here. That concept, the Gandhian concept of village republic, would not have worked in the world wherein political boundaries are formed, when there are states that are nuclearized, so on and so forth, when there are incursion, colonialism, all those things. Because if you have independent villages and not a central authority, your development with respect to arms, ammunition, which sort of have become the need of the hour to even maintain your own sovereignty and keep the enemies and other countries at bay. Right, but here we are talking, when here we are talking about the Gram Swaraj, it is not with respect to comprehensively in every single field. We are not saying that foreign relations, defense, everything we are talking about Gram Swaraj. No, here we are talking about the Gandhian Gram Swaraj principle with respect to rural development, with respect to digitization, so that the rural India does not have to be dependent on the urban areas, for example. They themselves become self-sufficient, right? The rural to urban migration may also go down if you develop the rural area only, or else people will have push migrations because there are no opportunities, or people may have pull migration because their aspirations are high. So this is what village centric development, decentralized governance, because you will be governing at the village level and it will be community led. The social audits, the community-led programs, the involvement of community will be high because it is being implemented at the grassroots level. Okay. Next is this Sahakar Sarthi, under this only, which was inaugurated. It's nothing but a digital initiative under Ministry of Cooperation. Remember this for your prelims exam. It is developed by NABARD. What is NABARD? National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. What is it? It is a refinancing agency. It provides loans to institutions which in turn provide loan for agriculture and the rural development. Okay. It also has like a credit plus approach wherein it is going to provide you credit. It is also going to handhold you, train you, etc. Plus, RBI has given it a responsibility to also supervise these institutions to whom they are giving the loans. And it makes sense because it is giving loans to them, so it is better that they supervise it as well. Now, we are saying supervising, not regulating. There is a difference. RBI is the ultimate regulator of the banking system. NABARD is only going to supervise. Regulation means formulating the policy, rules, regulations under which every banking system will work. Supervising is simply checking whether are you working with respect to the rules and regulation that has been formulated or not. That is what supervision. So UPSC is the regulator of UPSC Civil Services examination. But when you go to the center to write your paper, there will be two invigilators who will be there. They will supervise you. Are you following the rules and regulations or not? They are not the regulator, they are the supervisors. That is the difference between the two. Okay. Features, of course, it will be district, state, central, agriculture, urban cooperative banks onto a single unified platform. Now, what does this mean? The apps and the platforms that are being created, so everyone is going to be linked with that, as a result of which all the different types of cooperatives that are there are going to be connected through one single platform. So whenever you talk about technology, the connection is going to be developed, a single unified technology platform. So basically the things are getting centralized. Okay? When it is centralized, it is at one single place, it reduces the operational cost as well. Okay? It creates more efficiency among the people. Next is the National Mission on Edible Oil. The National Mission on Edible Oil. Now, as I was saying, that India is about 4th largest producer of this edible oil, but the issue is our requirement is quite high. We are a huge consumer, or we consume a lot. That is why we need a lot. That is why we still have to import. That is why the government is coming up with National Mission on, not coming up with, it has already come up with. This is an old scheme only, but it is what we are discussing because it is in news. Similar is the case with pulses. In pulses also we do not have self-sufficiency, and pulses is a source of protein, especially for people who are vegetarians. They have pulses as a very good source, right? And it is of course a source for everyone, but we are being a country with 143 crore, 146 crore plus population, right? We have a huge demand which cannot be met, so we import pulses also, for example, from African countries. In the same manner, we are importing edible oil also. That is why we have two schemes, the NMEO oil palm and the oil seed scheme. What is the objective? The objective, of course, since we are importing high, so the objective will be to reduce the import of edible oil, reduce the dependency. Okay? So you can see that imports met 56% of the domestic edible oil demand. That means 56% of the demand is being met by imports. So if we produce our own oil, see, first of all, we should also start consuming less of oil. This is also one thing, right? But anyway, people will consume what they want to consume. So this is the issue, as a result of which this is going to bring down our import bill if it is implemented properly. First is the oil palm scheme. So this oil palm scheme came in first in 2021. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. Yes. If I ask you what is a centrally sponsored scheme? Okay. It is under central government. It is regulated by central government. So of course there is central, it is mentioned over here. Of course it's regulated by central government. Anything else?
We are taking this when we buy.
हाँ बोलिए.
When we buy the edible oil, the taxes are also.
There is a concept of centrally sponsored scheme and central sector scheme. In central sector scheme, 100% of the funding comes from the government of India. And in centrally sponsored scheme, it is shared between the government of India and the states. This is the difference. Please read and revise the basic differences that are there. Okay. So core aim is to enhance the domestic availability of the oil by producing more, increasing the crude palm oil production. What is palm oil basically? So there are palm seeds also. There is a palm tree. Have you seen palm trees? So you have these trees, kind of trees that are there. You have seen these kind of trees? These are basically your palm trees. Like the coconut tree is there, like the palm tree. So that is how the palm tree looks like. So this, they have their seeds also that yields us oil. We have some other oils as well. For example, we have groundnut oil. Where is this groundnut oil coming from? You have seen groundnut. You crush the groundnut, there is oil inside it. Okay? And then, sorry about this. Then there is a concept also of under groundnut oil, there is a concept of cold press, hot pressed. Cold press groundnut oil is a more, or any cold press oil is a more natural way of extracting the oil without increasing the temperature using the traditional methods. When you don't increase the temperature, the ingredients or the nutrients of the oil are maintained very highly. Is that clear? Some amount of heat is fine if you're using oil in your scalp. Some amount of heat up to 60 degrees is fine, but you cannot, some oils you cannot boil. It is going to take away the nutrients, so on and so forth. The key features of the oil palm scheme. So price assurance. First is the price assurance. Price assurance is similar to the MSP. In MSP, what happens? The government asks you to grow some things, and then the government says the minimum this amount I will give you if you don't get that money in the market. Now, here, see, understand that there is already a lack of availability of oil. So the price availability will actually be there. There should not be any issue of the price as such, but fair enough. So introduction of the viability price for oil palm farmers. So here the government is not talking about minimum support price, saying we will provide the viability price. Viability price means the price that we will give you so as to ensure that your farming is viable. You can keep on carrying out the farming. We will ensure that. So please come and start producing palm oil. Because farmers may also think that it will take time to change and shift it to palm oil cultivation, or let's say there is not going to be much remuneration, or let's say you have to invest a lot initially, so on and so forth. So some sort of assurance in the payment helps the farmers over here. Enhanced subsidies, assistance for planting material. It has been increased from 12,000 per hectare to 29,000 per hectare. So that is a considerable amount. If you look at other yojnas wherein the money transfer is there, for example, Raitu Bandhu scheme, in a similar manner, the scheme at the national level. So there you are talking about transferring 6,000 rupees per hectare to the farmers. But for palm oil, it was 12,000, it is being increased to 29,000. Of course, it's not the same as growing the rice, for example. If I start palm oil, let's say palm tree cultivation today, It's not going to reap me benefit 6 months later like rice can do. It's going to take time. Okay? So that is why this subsidies is at a higher side. Ji, boli? FRP as in, what's the question?
Means in news that time last 2 months back, I have heard.
Achha, you are asking what is FRP? FRP is basically fair and remunerative price. So what is FRP? FRP is fair and remunerative price. This price is nothing but, this concept is exactly similar to minimum support price. But this FRP is for sugarcane. So you can say FRP is nothing but a minimum support price like concept, but for sugarcane. That is known as fair and remunerative price. I hope that's clear. Of course, it's going to help to rejuvenate the production. Okay? Priorities are also given to the northeast states. This is quite important to remember. Traditional oil palm states. So you should know the traditional oil palm states. So you can see the South Indian states are involved over here. You have the state of Gujarat. You also have the northeastern states, which are basically your palm oil producing state. So northeastern also it's happening. There is a special provision for northeastern states as well. Why special provision for northeastern states, not for South Indian states? Why is this discrimination there? Climate Kadu, it is not about the climate as such. Huh? Yes, of course, there are a lot of issues that they face. They are socio-economically backward regions. Since they are socio-economically backward regions, as a result of which, even though these states are also producing, this state is also producing, these states are also producing, but you are providing priority to the northeastern states, of course, to other states as well. That is why when you have the centrally sponsored scheme, in centrally sponsored scheme, the entire money is not going to be given by the central government. It has to be shared by the central and the state. So many a times the sharing of 90:10 is there for the northeastern states. That means for the northeastern states, the central government will give 90% of the funding and they have to give only 10% of the funding. For the rest of the state, it will either be 50-50, it will be 60-40, so on and so forth. Is that clear? So let's move ahead with this. This is the next one. So first one we saw was of oil palm. I've told you about the palm tree. Now this is the oil seeds. From seeds also the extraction of oil takes place. I've given an example of groundnut oil. So how do we get oil from that? By crushing, by pressing, cold press, etc. It yields oil. So this scheme, you don't have to exactly remember the year, but remember that it came in first, oil palm came in, then the oil seed scheme came in. Oil palm was in 21, this is in 2024. Objective again, self-sufficiency in edible oils, because we have seen approximately 56% of the edible oil is being imported in India. So more than half is the import. So what is the objective? Nothing but substitute your import, avoid the import, not substitute with respect to foreign exchange. But the thing is, you need to have self-sufficiency in edible oil, that is Atmanirbharta. That is Atmanirbharta. So whatever things you are seeing this year with respect to the things that India is importing, pulses, we are talking about Atmanirbharta in pulses. We are importing oil seeds, oil, vegetable oil, we are talking about Atmanirbharta in edible oil as well. Okay? Yes. No, it is not that case. It's not a case of individual farmers being backward. It is about, so northeastern states are giving preference. See, socio-economically backward people are there prevalent throughout the country. That's not a doubt. The issue is these northeastern states have very low state GDP. The tax collected by the state government is very low, right? The taxes collected by the state of Maharashtra, by the state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. is quite high. So the state governments can take care. So when we are saying that 90% the central government is giving, 10% the state government is giving, right? And for other states, let's say for the state of Karnataka, if it is 50-50, so this 50% the people are not giving, the farmer is not going to give. It's the state government that has to provide that 50%. Why? Because that state government is more affluent, right? Is more financially powerful than the northeastern state government. Is that clear? So focus is on 9 primary oil seeds, including mustard, the groundnut example that I gave, soya bean example that I gave. So this is where we are focusing upon. Of course, it will enhance our extraction capacity. Okay? This is the basic objective that will be there. Next, bridging the yield gaps. Now, this is also important. One important thing is the yield. Now, the issue with Indian agriculture many times is also about the yield. For example, in our previous class, we have seen that India is producing around 440 kgs of cotton per hectare, and China is producing 1900 kgs of cotton per hectare. So the productivity is 5 times than that of India. So if you just mindlessly keep on expanding the area, how much more will you produce? So to match China, you will have to expand the area 4 times and make it 5 times in order to produce the same. So you have to improve the technology also. You have now issue with India is we have still not started the use of the genetically modified seeds that are there, right? So we don't know whether it will happen anytime soon or not. However, ironically, we do have imports which are genetically modified, but as such, we are not using the genetically modified seeds. Okay? Area expansion, there is going to be area expansion in this. Bringing fallow lands. What is a fallow land? Yes, fallow land, the land, yes, it is considered to be less fertile or infertile, wherein they were not doing any agricultural activities. So on those land also you can start doing agriculture activities. That means it should not be a trade-off. Trade-off as in, yes? Barren means that only. Infertile, barren land, which cannot yield anything. So instead of having a trade-off that if I am going to have palm oil, etc., I have to give away farming of the other things. So instead of doing that, focus on bringing in the fallow lands as well. Okay? Market value enhancement, improve market access for farmers. How do you improve market access for farmers? You have the concept of APMC mandis. We have talked about that the government is talking about viability price. Viability price means if the farmer is not able to get the price for their produce, the government is going to ensure that they get it. But the thing is, here there may not be that much of a problem because we are anyhow producing very less and the demand is very high. Okay? This is the oilseed area coverage. You can remember approximate numbers. UPSC may not ask you exact numbers, but roundabout numbers you should know that from around 29 million hectares, we are looking to increase up to 33 million hectares. So presently we are somewhere close to 29 million hectares. Okay. So the last one, the unit. The unit is what? A pilot gold-backed digital currency. So let us see where this issue is coming from, or where this idea of having a gold-backed digital currency is coming for. See, the BRICS in its previous summit had decided for having a common separate currency for them to deal with each other, to trade with each other. Only within them, of course, only within them. Okay? To deal with each other only within them. See, if I bring in a new currency, right, I cannot say USA to accept my currency. It will depend upon what USA wants. If I want to buy something from USA, then USA is going to decide in what currency they want the payment, right? So even if you cannot bring it for everyone, because they are going to decide what the currency they want, right? So it is only going to be for those countries who mutually agree for this currency, right? So in the BRICS summit, the BRICS nations had decided to come up with their own common currency. Now what they're doing is a pilot project. A pilot basically means a trial project. It's a trial to see how things work. Okay? By a trial of what? Gold-backed digital trade currency. So that means it is going to be a digital currency. Digital, no hard cash. We are talking about physical presence, printing and all is not required. Digital currency it will be. It's a trade currency used for trading among themselves only, right? But it is going to be gold backed. What does this mean? See, you have a different kinds of currency exchange rate system. You have the fixed one, you have the floating one. In fixed one, you fix the rate of your currency against any other currency or any other underlying commodity. In this case, it is the gold that is the underlying commodity against which you will fix the rate of your currency. Why we are fixing it for gold?
Everywhere it has the value.
It is liquid, it has the value.
It does not change. And the future also
It's not that see, now recently it has been increasing a lot, but imagine blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, etc., which are highly volatile. Certain currencies which are weak, that are depreciating every now and then. So it is considerably stable, considerably a hard currency kind of a situation is there with respect to gold. So that is why this is being tried. However, please remember, there has been no official announcement yet by the BRICS nation, right? And it remains to be seen as to when they will announce this, because when the BRICS talked about having a common currency, there was an uproar by United States of America, and then Donald Trump has said that if BRICS nation do that, I am going to slap them with 125% of tariff. And next day he said that 100% of tariff. So round about 100 and 125 is what he was talking about. So that can be one reason. But the ultimate thing is, it has not been made official yet. It is seen as a part of broader discussion on de-dollarization. De-dollarization means reducing the percentage or amount of dollar in your currency trade basket. Our dependence on dollars we have to reduce. That's why the RBI is also buying gold to diversify our foreign exchange, to hold less of dollars and more percentage of other foreign exchange, which includes the monetary gold as well. So here also, if you are trading against each other in dollars, you are unnecessarily needing dollars. So let's have a common currency, trade in that only, so that the requirement for the dollars can come down. So the currency that is being called as of now is the unit. So what is the unit? It is a digital blockchain based settlement currency designed for cross-border trade within the BRICS nation. We have already seen this. It is backed by physical gold, okay, basket of BRICS national currency. Yeah, it is basically both. Physical gold is what is backed by, 60-40 differentiation is there, we will see that, and basket of BRICS national currencies that are there. Who is developing it? So this is the organization that is developing it. Remember it for your prelims, International Research Institute for Advanced Systems. Okay. Now, what is the objective? Objective is to reduce the dependence on other foreign currencies, specifically the dollar, because the countries majorly trade in dollars. It will provide a stable and neutral settlement tool for the countries, in fact, tool or instrument. Now, let's see how does it work. So as I said, there is a percentage, 40% of its value is backed by gold, 60% is backed by the currency basket of the BRICS countries. Is that clear? So if there is a change in the price of gold, 40% of its value will be impacted. If there is a change in the price of the BRICS currency, 60% of the impact will be due to the BRICS currency's fluctuation. BRICS currency means the currency of the individual countries who are a part of BRICS. So Indian rupees, Chinese renminbi, okay? Now, how does the unit work? Unit works on a permissioned Cardano blockchain. Now, what is this? This is separate from the currency situation. This is more related to science and tech, which I wanted to add over here. So, in blockchain, basically there are two types. This is important. One is permission based. One is the proof of stake based, and the other is proof of work based. So what is a blockchain? In blockchain, basically there are huge amount of codes that have been coded. You have to decode that. When you decode that basically, or you clear the puzzles and stuff, you earn some amount of bitcoins. For example, we're taking the example of Bitcoin. That's how you earn. That is the proof of work way of collecting bitcoins. You have done the work, there is a proof, you have encoded, you have decoded it, right? That's the proof, you earn some bitcoin. Now the second one is the proof of stake. So this currency works on the Cardano principle, that is the proof of stake. So here we are not going to keep on solving the puzzle in order to earn any cryptocurrency. It is going to be done based on the stake that each country is going to claim. Whatever the share they have in the BRICS, that is amount of stake that they are going to possibly have in this currency also. Stake means how much share you have. Let's say you and I start a business. You have 50% stake, I have 50% stake. means you are 50% owner, I am 50% owner. If there is a profit, you get 50%, I get 50%. Loss is also shared equally. Stake is nothing but a share. Is that clear? So this is the concept of this particular technology. Any questions, any doubts? No doubts? So let's quickly solve the question then. Right, please. With reference to production linked incentive scheme for advanced chemistry cell battery storage, consider the following statements. The scheme is technology agnostic scheme and follows firms to choose suitable advanced battery technology. Is that correct? It's correct. Very good. The scheme aims to promote domestic value addition and reduce dependence on battery imports. Yes. Incentives under the scheme are linked to actual manufacturing performance. Absolutely yes. So all are actually right. Next, with reference to GIFT City. GIFT City is India's first international financial service center. Let's see ahead. It is designated as a non-resident zone under FEMA. You are guessing or you are answering? Yes. Very good. This is correct. So 2 is correct. Financial institutions operating in GIFT City are regulated separately. What NABARD? NABARD is different. That we saw in Earth Summit. And NABARD is not a regulator. It's a supervisor. Okay? So here, yes. Here this third statement is basically incorrect. Okay? That is, they are in SEZ, Special Economic Zones, remember. The Earth Summit 2025 recently in news is primarily associated with what? Promotion of renewable energy, strengthening rural development, urban infrastructure, expansion of industrial corridors.
Renewable energy first.
13+ digital platforms have been launched. Integration for the development of the rural areas, village republic, Gandhian Gram Swaraj. Okay? So please keep that in mind. Next, with reference to National Mission on Edible Oil, consider the following statements. NMEO oil palm introduced a viability price mechanism to protect farmers from international price volatility. Yes, viability price mechanism. Oilseeds focuses only on primary oilseeds crops and excludes secondary oilseeds crops. No, it's not that the case. So 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. So 1 and 3 will be together. They aim to meet about 72% of India's domestic oil demand by, this is correct. This fact was not there, but this is correct. You can read it in the reader. So when they are providing 72% of India's demand, that means imports which are 56% now is going to become 28%. It is going to half as compared to what it is now. Is that clear? Sure. Thank you. If you have any questions, guys, please ask. Please read things from your readers. The other news are also there. You ask it. Make a habit to read it. If you have some doubts from them or from these things which we have already done, please ask questions.
So cannabis farming is
Huh?
cannabis farming.
I didn't get it, that word. I'll check that out, what word you're saying. Any other questions, guys?
Because which African country has legalized it and regulated
Achha,
cannabis?
cannabis. Cannabis can also be used as toxicants actually. Okay? So for example, opium you have. So opium can also be used as a toxicant, but it is also used for medicines. So under certain licenses and stuff, you can still grow opium in India. Right? In the same manner, in African country, you're talking about cannabis or any other thing. Okay? Thank you.